All right, welcome to the Almighty Lair, where we talk about hot sports topics, everything from football, basketball, boxing, UFC, and the WWE. Follow and subscribe on all major platforms: YouTube, Twitter /X, TikTok, and Instagram at the Almighty Lair. And don't forget to hit all notifications so you stay up to date with all daily topics. I'm Almighty Fenrir, and let's go ahead and dive into today's topics. I kind of want to do something different where I kind of touch on everybody's team individually, and so that everybody can just like kind of go to their own playlist. Because some people don't care about other people's teams, some people just care about their own team. So I want to make a playlist, and kind of going through everybody else's team. So like if you want to just hear about the Bengals, I got a playlist for just Bengals, everything Bengals, my thoughts on the Bengals. And if you like the Vikings or any other team, I'll have that. So right now we're on the Bengals. It's the first time I'm actually trying this, and like I said, I'm going to go all the way from the Bears all the way to the Vikings. um the Bears when the Bears. The Bengals went against the Browns, week one matchup. And again, this is the Bengals, so I'll just keep it really about the Bengals. Um, one my initial takeaways. Joe Burrow actually looks sharp. Noah Fant is a good addition. The defense does look better. I mean, they did give up some plays here and there, but they definitely look better from what we're used to seeing. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Defense looks better. And then also, I would have liked to see more from Higgins and Chase. But again, that's just my initial takeaways. Joe Burrow, 14 for 23, 113 yards, a touchdown. Brown running on the ground, 21 carries, 43 yards, 2 yards average with a touchdown. Higgins led the team with yards at 33 yards, no touchdowns. Fant, 4 catches, 26 yards, and a touchdown. Jamar Chase, 2 catches, 26 yards. Um, so yeah, those are the quick little rundown of stats. Um, um, and just to throw out there, Trey Hendrickson, their star DN, had us a sack. So just my initial takeaways from this game, like I said, Joe Burrow does look sharp. Um, it was good, I guess, that they played a lot of preseason. Well, got their feet wet in preseason this year. Usually, they don't. The starters do not play preseason games, and seeing how they played preseason games this year, um, it was actually good for them because Burrow, like I said, Burrow does look sharp. He put the balls always where they needed to be, and they were very fast, quick out of his hand, and with precision. I think Jamar and Higgins, I don't know if it was more of the offensive coordinator not really like dialing up passes to them, or was it just missed opportunity? I know Jamar had a couple, had a drop or two, whatever. um but this is week one, and you know Denzel Ward is one of the upper echelon corners, and Newsom is not bad as well. So but I just thought that at least because Denzel Ward is really one of them guys. I definitely thought that um they would have at least gotten the better of them. But it doesn't look like that, happened, whatever. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna bring this down a little bit so I can sit back. Um, but yeah, I thought the defense did the Browns, kind of kept everything in front of them. Nothing really deep or anything like that. But again, man, that the defense does look solid. Um, but again, just the Browns, and I will be talking about the Browns because honestly, the Browns gift wrap this game for them, and I will get on them when I do the Browns. But yeah, they kind of gift wrapped this game for them, sadly, but they kind of gave them this game. This game was very close, but again, I felt like I don't feel like the Bengals won it more, though I feel like the Bengals lost it. I mean, I don't feel like the Bengals won it more than I feel like the Browns lost it, because keep it real, the Browns had multiple chances, the extra point and the field goal, to go up in this game, and they just did not connect. And again, I will go in on them. But from the Bengals point of view, I feel like um, uh, Joe Burrow played a very good game, very clean game. Again, with the stats, um, 14 to 23. Of course, they're gonna clean things up. It's only the first game of the season. There's definitely gonna the thing about the first game of the season, you just want to get a W. So you're not entering the second week 0-1, and you just want to because of course you're gonna iron out things, and in a and going forward, you'll be cleaning things up, and then by the time you're like in week 8, and you guys are actually looking more like your team. But like I said, this is the first week, and I feel like the team did what was necessary to win. Like the first week, you want to just show grit. You want to show grit, and you guys want to show that you guys are willing to do the small things to win the game. You know what I'm saying? Then, as the season goes on, you'll see Burrow, going for 300 yards, and Jamar Chase going for 100, and same thing with Higgins and Brown, going for their 100-yard games. But week 1, you want to go out there, get your feet wet, win the game, and then, like I said, the rest will come. The defense was one of the things that looked really bad last year, amongst the worst in football last year. And just seeing how, they came out and they played, I feel like, even though this is week 1, I just don't feel like the Bengals have enough pieces to really be dominant. I think that, the rookie first rounder at the end, and Hendrickson will be a nice little, give him some little pressure here and there. But honestly, the corners aren't that great. I really feel like they missed Jesse Bates at safety. He was, he's doing great in Atlanta, solidifying his spot as one of the, if not the top safety in the game. And the Bengals definitely need that. You know what I'm saying? But from what I've heard and, what I've seen lately, is the Bengals are very tight with their money. And, they just don't pay people, even though they deserve it. Even going back with this whole debacle with, Hendrickson, you know what I'm saying? Hendrickson earned his money, regardless of what his age is. He earned the money, so, and then, even, the Higgins thing was, blown out of proportion a little bit. They was thinking about, people were talking about, maybe him being on another team and stuff like that. So I don't know. I don't know if this is just like not drafting well, or people don't want to go there, even though people, see the Bengals, especially their offense, as being one of the top in the NFL. I don't know if people just don't want to play there because people don't want, they don't like getting paid. But yeah, like I just don't see their defense really being one of those defenses that's going to shake anybody. So I definitely believe that this defense is going to have to be a very optimistic defense, where it's like they have to play as a unit and, keep everything in front of you, and then, do something in hopes that the offense messes up. I feel like that's the kind of defense they're going to have to be, because outside of Hendrickson, I really don't see nobody to be scared of. If I just run away from Hendrickson all day, the rookie still has to show you that he's one of those guys to be feared. But right now, you just don't know. So the jury's still out on him. But as far as like actually being scared or like when you game plan against this defense, like if I'm a coach, I'm like, okay, watch out for Henderson, watch out for number 91, but like play within the scheme of the game. You know what I'm saying? Like there's no, oh, we gotta watch him, so we got a game plan. Like there is no really game planning for the Bengals on defense. There's really no game planning for them. So and it's sad because I believe that you're wasting the prime years of Burrow, of Chase, and of Higgins. Because even if Burrow plays for another, 10 years, whatever, like that, there's no way Chase and Higgins is going to play for 10 years. And they're definitely not going to be in their primes. I mean, so you're going to have to bring in another wide receivers, and hopefully they're just as good. And that's the thing about replacing elite talent. Like, there's no sure thing that you're going to be able to replace them. And you may never replace them, but then even if you do, you're not going to, it's more or less likely that you're going to replace them very quickly. So you have to strike now while the iron is hot and while you actually have them on your roster. And I just feel like when you don't put nothing on defense to help your offense, you're really putting your offense at a very disadvantage, because like they did last year, they were putting up 30 points, 30 some points a game just to be in a shootout with teams that they definitely shouldn't be in shootouts with, because they couldn't stop nobody on defense. So hopefully the defense, maybe they're one of these defenses that just, this is week one for them, and maybe they'll get better throughout the season. Who knows? But as it's seen right now, I don't foresee this defense really scaring nobody. So they're really gonna have to. This season is basically Joe Burrow, Chase, and Higgins. Like, they have to take it over, which is kind of sad, but they got to kind of take it over. Noah Fant. When Noah Fant got picked up by them, I was like, wow, like this offense, like it's already a vertical type offense. But now that you bring in Fant, he's kind of like another big wide receiver, definitely he's not on the tiers of like, Bowers or like Kelsey or anything like that. But he's a wide receiver, he's a tight end who moves similar to like, a wide receiver, and pretty fast for a big guy. So, already having Chase, already having Higgins, and now you add in a tight end that can actually move and get vertical. I think that when I seen the signing, I was like, wow, that's a underrated, pickup, and I already said he had their lone touchdown, 4 catches, 26 yards. So I think that when you game plan for the Bengals offense, you're gonna have to gain, like everybody's gonna have to, like, if I was a defensive coordinator, I would, like, this offense would keep me up. This offense would keep me up, because if I double Chase, T. Higgins is a wide receiver one in his own right. You know what I'm saying? He just happens to be playing with Jamar Chase. But if Higgins was playing in any other team, not named the Vikings or the Bengals, he could possibly be the number one, And so, if you want to double Chase, then what are you going to do with Higgins? And then if you're silly enough to try to double both of them, what I just opens up Fant, and Fant is going to beat a lot of linebackers. I think the only linebacker I would not trust him, or not even really trust him, but like the only linebacker I would feel like, man, I don't know if, that it'll be a 50-50 at best, like, would be Warner from the Niners. But other than that, like, I don't really see too many linebackers that's keeping up with him and would really stop him. And then, if Brown at running back can continue doing what he's doing, man, that really just puts the the pressure on the defense, because you got three guys who can, beat you on any given route. And then at the end of the day, if Brown continues to do what he's doing, man, you're really gonna be scratching your head like, what do we do? You know what I'm saying? Because they're just so good. So Brown, even though he had a very pedestrian game, 43 yards and only 2 yards average, he did score a touchdown. But again, this is week one, so I'm anticipating, those yards to go up. But man, if they can get it together on offense, this will be one of the more high powered offenses in football. Um, and what is there another thing that I want to say? I just feel like, like again, I just feel like even though Chase had a down game, I think this is more week one than it is like, oh, they just locked him up. I think it's just week one. They're outside of a few quarterbacks going really off in week one. Most of the receivers didn't. Most of the receivers did not go off, but I'll just chuck it up to week one. But I definitely believe that Chase will again be vying for the Triple Crown Pro Bowl season, and definitely top two or three in the game at his position. So Bengals are 1-0 starting week one. And if you are a Bengals fan, I know you're happy. And there's definitely improvements to be made. But at the end of the day, week one under the books, week two coming up next. And yeah, I'll be back to break down the Bengals in that game. And you guys let me know how you guys feel about the channel. How's it going? Uh, Make sure to follow me again. I know this is I'm doing a lot of streaming on Almighty Fenrir channel on YouTube, but I want to eventually go over to my other YouTube page, which I will be uploading this on, is the Almighty Lair. And like I said, you can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Twitter/X, and what is it? Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and I think that's it. Yeah, YouTube, Twitter, Facebook. No, I'm not on Facebook, but yeah, all of them you can find me on. Matter of fact, let me see right quick. 1 second. That's right. TikTok. I don't know why I didn't remember it. But yeah, so I'm on TikTok at the Almighty Lair, TikTok, Instagram, the Almighty Lair, um, YouTube, the Almighty Lair, and then Instagram, Almighty Lair. So I'm on 4 different ones. So go ahead and follow me on all of those. I'm gonna try to upload daily. So just make sure you guys turn on your notifications, because I'm going to drop a lot of different content. One of the contents that I want to, put up is, just have some fun with, the roulette, and maybe I'll go against one of you guys. We can go head to head and like roulette or something like that. And let's see who has the better team. I do want to talk about like some of the Madden ratings. Did they get it right? The one thing about Madden, when it comes out every year, they definitely know how to draw up the um, you know the they definitely know how to stir the pot, because there's a lot of times when they drop they list, you're like, oh, here we go, very controversial, and a lot of their players deserve the ratings they get. Some of the players don't deserve the ratings they get. And then sometimes you have some people that are just super underrated that you're like, well, why didn't this guy get a plus? Or but I want to do that. So make sure you guys subscribe, and also follow me on all my platforms at the Almighty Lair. But like I said, I appreciate you guys. And yes, I'll see you on the next episode.